On the morning of my wedding day, the world felt different. I woke up with a strange heaviness in my chest, as though some unseen energy was pressing against me. The house was buzzing with relatives, laughter, and the clinking of glasses, but I could hardly focus on anything. I was marrying the woman I loved, yet there was an unfamiliar sensation coursing through my veins. At first, I thought it was nerves. Every groom feels the pressure of the big day, I told myself. But when I reached for my suit jacket, something impossible happened. The fabric moved toward me on its own, as though pulled by an invisible hand. My breath caught. I froze, convinced my eyes were playing tricks. I tried again, stretching my hand out slowly. This time, the tie resting on the chair lifted slightly, dangling in the air before falling back down. My heart raced. No, this wasn't stress. This was real. Somehow, on the very day I was about to promise my life to someone else, I had gained a power I couldn't explain. I kept it to myself during the preparations, smiling at guests, greeting my family, listening to the priest rehearse. Outwardly, I seemed calm. Inside, I was shaking. How could I tell anyone? Hey, I can move objects without touching them didn't exactly sound normal. They would call me mad, or worse, think I was cursed. As I stood in front of the mirror, dressed in my wedding suit, I tested it again. A glass of water on the dresser wobbled when I focused. A flower petal drifted upward as though caught in a hidden breeze. It wasn't just real, it was getting stronger. The timing of it unnerved me. Why today of all days? When I finally saw her, my bride, walking toward me in her white gown, I almost forgot everything else. She was radiant, glowing with happiness. For a moment, I wanted to bury the secret deep inside me and never let it ruin what we had. Yet the universe had other plans. During the ceremony, just as the priest spoke about eternal bonds, one of the candles at the altar flared up. The flame twisted and stretched unnaturally, startling everyone. I hadn't meant to do it, but my thoughts had wandered. I clenched my fists, forcing myself to calm down. No one suspected me. They whispered about the draft in the church. But my bride noticed. Her eyes lingered on me, suspicious and sharp, as if she sensed something I hadn't confessed. The vows felt heavy on my tongue, because while I promised her honesty and trust, I was already hiding this strange gift from her. At the reception, I kept losing control. Wine spilled when I grew anxious. Spoons rattled when guests teased me, and a bouquet of flowers floated just long enough to make a few children giggle. Everyone thought it was part of the celebration, only she didn't laugh. Later, when we were finally alone, she asked me outright, "Something's going on with you, isn't it?" Her voice was steady, but her eyes demanded the truth. I hesitated, torn between fear and love. Finally, I showed her. I lifted my hand, and the candle on the nightstand slid toward me without touch. She gasped, covering her mouth, staring at me as though I was a stranger. "What are you?" she whispered. The words stung, even though I couldn't blame her. I didn't know what I was either. That night, instead of passion and celebration, there was distance. She lay awake, glancing at me as though waiting for something unnatural to happen. I sat in silence, realizing that this power wasn't just a gift, it was a wedge, driven between us on the day that should have bound us together. Days passed, and my abilities only grew. I could move heavier things, even sense people's emotions faintly. But the more I discovered, the more I lost her. She avoided my touch, her laughter faded, and her trust crumbled. My wedding day had given me power, but it had also stolen the simple happiness I longed for. I tried to convince myself it could be controlled, that life could return to normal. Yet deep down, I knew everything had changed. My marriage began with secrets and fear, and each passing day widened the distance between us. On the day I thought would be the happiest of my life, I had discovered a strange new power. But what good was power if it cost me the one person I had wanted to share my life with?